You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. Coming up on today's show, a 49ers mailbag where I take all of the questions from our live audience as we go live every single Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. But first, are the Niners going to be able to carry that momentum from Monday night into Sunday against a bad Jacksonville Jaguars team? It's prediction time in the comment section. Who you got on Sunday? Type JAC for the Jags, SF for the 49ers. Get those predictions in right now. Let's kick off this mailbag with this question coming in from Zop. Do you think the injury problem is tied with the front office drafting injury-prone college players? Javon Kinlaw had some injury issues at South Carolina. Jalen Hurd had some injury issues as well. I think that when you draft players, it really is an inexact science. You can't predict who's going to be good because there's so many factors. Of course, injuries are one. Situation is another. A player's desire to be a professional athlete is another, because it really is a full-time job, and sometimes guys just mail it in and don't put forward full effort. I think injuries, though, really come down to bad luck. The injury rate in the NFL is 100%, and all teams across the NFL get hit with that injury bug. Shane Swisher, with the hard part of the season over, realistically, do you see us making it deep into the playoffs or just burning out in the early playoffs? I think it all depends on a couple of factors. How healthy can the Niners be come playoff time? How are they playing at that time? Are they working with some momentum? Is the offense consistent? Do they have an identity? Is Jimmy Garoppolo continuing to play turnover-free football? Do you get the best out of your best players in Trent Williams, Alex Mack, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle offensively, as well as Nick Bosa, who now has 8 sacks, Fred Warner, Jimmy Ward? The list goes on. There's so many factors that go into it. What I can say, Shane, they have potential to win a lot of games and make a deep playoff run. I firmly believe that. Alfredo Hernandez, we need to stick to the fly running game with Deebo and Ayuk. Yeah, the running game last night I thought was really creative as we answered these questions during our live shows on our 49ers live show every Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. I like what Kyle Shanahan did in the ground game. Kind of those ISO pitch plays that were really fast developing plays. I like what I saw there. The jet sweeps, the extension of the running game through the pass game. What I mean by that is the quick trigger passes and bubble screens to guys like Brandon Ayuk, as well as Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. All those really effective plays, and I thought Shanahan did a good job of that on Monday night. Barrison with this question. What do you think the 49ers need to do in free agency? Depending on what they do in free agency as well as the draft, here's what I know what the 49ers have to do. Load up in the secondary and get some premier players there. You can find that in the draft. You can find that in free agency. Tyrann Mathieu is going to be hitting the free agency market. Going to have to pay him a lot. He's going to be in his early 30s. A little bit of a risk there. He's dealt with injuries, but he's a really good player. J.C. Jackson of the New England Patriots. Very good player as well. I know that Bill Belichick brings the best out of some of those defensive players, but my point here is you have to be better in the secondary, because I like the defensive line, and if you can back the defensive line up with very good secondary play, I like the linebackers, this team can wreak havoc on defense. Name a free agent you think the 49ers should target, a free agent who you think could ball out with San Francisco, and just drop some names in the comment section right now and let me know a free agent you think the 49ers should target. A couple of really intriguing names, not just defensively, but offensively as well. Drop me some names right now in the comment section. Now, you've been watching the 49ers Report on YouTube. Our 49ers Report audience is also live on Facebook as well, but we have also paired up with Amazon Alexa, and we've been doing previews for every single game, every single week in the NFL slate, and you can watch us as part of Alexa's 2-minute drill on any Amazon Alexa device or any Fire Stick. All you got to do, say, quote, Alexa, play the 49ers 2-minute drill, and your boy right here is going to pop up previewing every single 49ers game. Now, these are available starting for Sunday games every single Friday. Thursday night football matchups are available on Wednesday morning. Once again, any Amazon Alexa device, any Fire Stick TV device, you can catch myself and my Chat Sports colleagues previewing these games as part of the Alexa 2-minute drill. All you got to do, Alexa, play the 49ers 2-minute drill. Alexa, play the Seahawks 2-minute drill if you want to see what some of the rival teams in the NFC West are doing. Move ahead in this mailbag with this question coming in from Ruben. Oh, it's a $20 super chat. What free agents or trades can we actually get with the budget next year? Cheers. Ruben, really appreciate that $20 super chat coming in on our live show. So I did talk about some free agents who are going to be available. You're looking at defensively guys like Tyrann Mathieu, J.C. Jackson. Offensively, Allen Robinson is going to hit the free agency market. Devontae Adams going to be a free agent as well. He went to Fresno State. Hey, in the region of San Francisco, if he doesn't re-sign with Green Bay, could the 49ers be in on him? I don't really think that's realistic. I'm just trying to name some big-name players who are going to be available in free agency. You're going to have to pay Deebo Samuel, though. You're going to have to pay Nick Bosa. You already paid Fred Warner. Do you move on from Jimmy Garoppolo to get rid of his base salary, which is around $24, $25 million, to free up some money? That's a big decision that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are going to have to make, and it really all comes down to whether or not Trey Lance is ready to play. If he's ready to play, it doesn't make sense to have Jimmy Garoppolo on this team. One, you don't want to pay a backup that much money. Two, it allows you to bolster this roster. So, Ruben, appreciate that $20 super chat. It comes down to a couple of factors, and couple of those names could be available for San Francisco. I want to see them address that secondary, though. That's the big weakness. So too is right guard and right tackle. Renzo B, is Jimmy Ward legit? Yeah, Jimmy Ward is critical for this defense, and he's been the last few years. He got off to a rocky start to start his career. And I think people thought, this guy is no good. This guy is a scrub. You saw last night how valuable he is to this defense. And 2 weeks ago in that game against the Cardinals, you saw what happens when he's not in the lineup. Bad tackling, bad blown coverages on the back end, a lot of big plays from Colt McCoy, who entered that game 8-22 in his career as a starter. Coop, the producer for today's show, big Texas fan, he knows about Colt McCoy, the Texas quarterback. He's been a scrub in the NFL, but the Niners defense made him look really good. A big reason for that, they were without Jimmy Ward, an experienced veteran who's a really good leader, has a knack for making some big plays, whether it be in the run game or the pass game. I really like Jimmy Ward. I think he's overlooked and undervalued. Vlad, can the Niners beat the Vikings by more than a field goal, or will the Vikings curse remain? Sounds like you want to bet on this game. Yeah, I think the Niners can beat the Vikings, in all seriousness, by more than a field goal. Mike Zimmer, Pete Carroll, sometimes they're able to get Kyle Shanahan's number, and we see that sometimes with these spread offenses or offenses that have spread concepts. Some of these longtime defensive coordinators are just able to really, really get after it against some of these young coaches. Look at the Vikings, though. You look at the Niners. Minnesota does have really good talent. I think the Niners are a more talented team. They're going to be at home as well. So I think they can end that quote-unquote Vikings curse and be victorious against Minnesota. Let's hope so, because they're going to need to beat a team like Minnesota, who is in a similar range with San Francisco in terms of being in that NFC playoff hunt. Make sure you subscribe to the 49ers Report, but also, do you know about our main Chat Sports YouTube channel? It's pretty big. We're closing in on 44,000 subscribers here on the 49ers Report. But our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, much larger than that. We just surpassed 267,000 subscribers. Of course, you're tuned in here because you like and watch our 49ers content. But do you want more NFL news and rumors? If you do, and you want more videos, go to youtube.com/chatsportstv and be a part of a big family there. Renzo B, is Azeez Al-Shaair a legit starter after Dre Greenlaw comes back? Yeah. Azeez Al-Shaair, Fred Warner, and Dre Greenlaw are your three starting linebackers. So you're going to move forward with those guys. They're all very, very good. So Azeez Al-Shaair, I really like him. Has a knack for making big plays. He can contribute in the box. He can contribute in coverage as well. Dre Greenlaw, you saw his ability with that pick six of Jared Goff in week 1. Hasn't played since then. It's the 49ers' hope that practice window is going to be open for him. Let's hope, because that's another good addition to this defense. Alfredo Hernandez, do you see the Niners 4-4 Troy Warner? I don't know what you mean there. Can you clarify in the comment section? Maybe we'll circle back. Go for Troy Warner? I'm not sure what you're trying to ask. Let's get to the next question from Zop. Appreciate you for watching, though, Alfredo. Do you think the injury problem is coming from the fact that Shanahan's drafting injury-prone players? I kind of addressed this earlier. It comes down to a combination of factors. Like, yes, Jalen Hurd was injury prone. So too was Javon Kinlaw. Can practice habits and a bad medical staff lead to injuries? Yes. But can injuries just be chalked up to bad luck? Yeah, that's the case sometimes too. Google account, do you think Garoppolo will play well enough for the rest of the year to increase his trade value for next year? Yes, because there are always needs for quarterbacks, whether they be backups or starters. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that when he's on, he can be a pretty good and serviceable starting quarterback. A team like the Washington football team, if they don't have a lot of money to pay, or they want to go after a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, do they decide to make a trade for him? And do they give up a second or third rounder? There will be teams desperate to give up a lot for a potential starting quarterback. So we'll see in that regard. Renzo B with this question, really loving the show. I just subscribed. Thank you, brother. Really, really do appreciate that, and thank you for subscribing. There's a reason why we're the largest 49ers News and Rumors channel on YouTube, closing in on 44,000 subscribers. We're consistent, we're entertaining, we're informative. We cover things like the latest news, breaking news, rumors. I put a video out on Sunday going deep dive analytics on folks, looking at the Pro Football Focus numbers for the 49ers team so far. We do watch parties throughout all these games. We got versatility to our games. We're not one-way stiffs. We do it all here on the 49ers Report. So be like him and subscribe to the channel. Hit that red subscribe button down below for more 49ers news, 49ers rumors, live shows, watch parties, everything. We got you covered here. Zop, do you think the injury problem is coming from the fact that Shanahan's drafting injury-prone players? We kind of answered that already, so let's get to this question from Alfredo Hernandez. Do you see Trey Lance playing against the Jags to try and get some reps in? Hasn't played against the Cardinals, didn't play against the Bears, didn't play against the Rams. 3 consecutive games where Trey Lance hasn't played. I think in certain packages you want to use him, but in those packages, you're going to be running him a lot, and I made this point during our watch party last night. There was a little bit of a setback, according to Kyle Shanahan, with that knee sprain, and if all you're going to do with Trey Lance is make him run it, do you want to risk him getting injured further? I don't think so. So I don't know if you're going to see Trey Lance against Jacksonville. If it becomes a blowout, maybe, but it was a blowout on Monday Night Football against the Rams, and you didn't see him. So I think it's all about a combination of things. You want to keep him healthy. You want to keep his confidence up. Do you even need to put him in the game when you're dump trucking the Rams like they did last night? No. Speaking of Trey Lance, Charlie Niner, Trey Lance a bust. Way too early to say that. I know everybody wants to say that Trey Lance is a bust. They should have taken Mac Jones. I was a fan of the Trey Lance pick because I think his upside is enormous. And I think Mac Jones has limited upside. He's also a limited athlete. And I think Trey Lance, the physical specimen that he is, the dual threat that he poses to opposing defenses, can be really, really dangerous in a Kyle Shanahan offense. I don't think we talk about this enough either. Sometimes it's all about the situation and the fit. Mac Jones goes from Nick Saban to his best friend in Bill Belichick. He's coached by Josh McDaniels, who groomed and developed and coached up Josh McDaniels. I know that McDaniels gets ripped for that Broncos stint as the head coach. He brought Tim Tebow to the damn playoffs. He was in his early 30s. He was given too much personnel control. So no, Trey Lance ain't a bust yet. Sometimes it's all about situation, and Mac Jones is in a perfect situation right now. Let me ask you this question, though. I'm high on Trey Lance's ability with Kyle Shanahan as the head coach. Given what you saw on Monday Night Football, is Kyle Shanahan back to his best? Type B for back, type M for it was mirage. Let me know down below. Chucky Gang, Brandon Ayuk out of the doghouse, great run blocker, low key. All of the wide receivers were blocking very well in the run game last night, and that is a staple in the 49ers offense. Wide receivers have to block downfield. And a big reason why Ayuk snaps and targets were down earlier on in the year, he wasn't doing a good job of blocking. In practice or in the games, he's gotten better in that regard. I think he is out of the doghouse. Alfredo Hernandez, my other question. I meant go for Troy Warner. Yeah, maybe as a depth piece, but not going to be a world breaker for this roster by any means. Like I said, and like I've been saying during our live show, I like the premier talent and some of the depth throughout this roster. I think what you really want to do if you're John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, address the secondary, address the offensive line, and then fill out some of the gaping holes at cornerback and some of those areas that are bereft of depth on this roster. Before we get out of here on this mailbag, Niner gang, love interacting with all of you, so feel free to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. That is my handle down below. I tweet out a bunch of 49ers related stuff, and if you want to talk about life, you want to talk about Niners, slide in my DMs.